Alright, moving on to the vector operations solutions. So on these ones, we just have some vectors, we're like adding them, multiplying by scalars, all sorts of things. One, we need to add v plus c. Well, v is 4, 2. And we need to add negative 3, 5 vector. To add vectors, you just add their components together. So you're looking at 4 plus negative 3. That's negative 3. And then 2 plus the 5. And when you add those together, you're looking at 1 and 7. So there's your answer for that one. If you want to do c minus v, you're going to take the components for c, which are negative 3 and 5. And you need to subtract out the components for v, which are 4 and 2. And then you simplify it. Negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. And 5 minus 2 is 3. And so that's your final answer. That's c minus v. If you want to do v minus c, start with your components for v, 4 and 2. And then you subtract off the components for c, which are negative 3 and 5. And when you do that, 4 minus negative 3 is 7. And 2 minus 5 is negative 3. And that's your resulting vector. Notice how these are just opposites of each other, and that kind of makes sense because you just switch the order of the subtraction. Moving on to the next one, if you want to do 3c, you need to do 3 times the components for c, which is just, it's almost like you're distributing. You have to do 3 times both of those guys, you'll get negative 9 and 15. If you want to do negative 4 times v, you can do negative 4 times both those components. So let's do this. We'll put down the components for v and do the times by negative 4 part. And when you do that, you're looking at negative 16 and negative 8. There you go. You have your answers here. On 6, you need to do 2 times c and 3 times v, and then subtract them. So let's do 2 times the c1, negative 3, 5. And then we need to subtract off 3 times 4, 2. And so you can think of it as just like distributing here, okay? So it's a lot like distribution. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 4 is 12. And 3 times 2 is 6. When you now subtract corresponding parts, negative 6 minus 12 is negative 18. 10 minus 6 is 4. And you have your final answer right there. Moving on to the next section, we have 4 new vectors, and so we're doing all sorts of different operations with them. We want to do w minus a. There's w and there's a. We need to do negative 2, 1 minus negative 1, 12. To do that, you guys subtract corresponding elements. So negative 2 minus negative 1. And then 1 minus 12. Negative 2 minus negative 1 is negative 1. And 1 minus 12 is negative 11. And that's your answer for that guy. On 8, you need to do 2 times z. Z is 7, negative 6. And then you add 3 times b. B is 8, 9. You're looking at 2 times z is 14, negative 12. 3b is 3 times a, which is 24, and then 27. When you add those together, 14 plus 24 is going to be 38. Negative 12 plus 27 is 15. And there you go. There's your resulting vector there. On 9, we need to do b minus 4a. So I'm going to put b down, which is 8, 9. I need to subtract 4 times a. A is negative 1, 12. I'm going to simplify the right part first, so I'm going to leave 8, 9 there the way it is. We need to subtract off, well, 4 times negative 1 is 4. I mean, negative 4. And 4 times 12 is 48. And we need to do the subtraction here, so we're looking at 8 minus negative 4, 9 minus 48. And that's going to give you 12. 9 minus 48 is negative 39. Man, that's kind of a big number there, but that gives you that first part there. Moving on to the next column here, we have to do negative 5a and subtract 4z, so negative 5 times a is negative 112. And then subtract off 4 times z, and z is 7, negative 6. Again, you can kind of like distribute this through to your vectors. And so negative 5 times negative 1 is going to give you positive 5. Negative 5 times 12 is negative 60. And let's do the doing like distributing negative 4, because we're kind of used to that. We'll do add. Negative 4 times 7, so negative 4 times the 7 there is negative 28. And negative 4 times the negative 6 gives you positive 24. We need to now combine like the components there. 5 plus negative 28 and negative 60 plus 24. 5 plus negative 28 is negative 23, and negative 60 plus 24 is negative 36. That's a 6. That's where it is. Okay, and there's your final answer there. Moving on to 11, we have to do 2 times b, which is 8, 9. And then add 6 times w, and w is negative 2, 1, I believe. Has it changed? Nope, negative 2, 1. And again, you can kind of distribute these numbers out front, the scalar times the vector. You'll get 8. Oops, you'll get 16, 18, and then plus negative 12, 6. Combine corresponding terms. 16 plus negative 12 is 4. 18 plus 6 is 24. Once you have that, you're ready to go. And on 12, you need to do 3 times w, which w is negative 2, 1. And you need to subtract off z, which is 7, negative 6. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And then 3 times 1 is 3. And we needed to now subtract off 7, negative 6. If you want to do that, just take your components, add the common ones. So negative 6. And that's a hideous 6. The 6 is middle. And you do negative 6 minus the 7. And 3 minus that negative 6. So don't forget the little subtraction in the middle. And when you do that, negative 6 minus 7 is negative 13. 3 minus negative 6 is 9. And that's the answer for that one. We're going to stop there.